Hi everybody, in this short little video we're going to be introduced to using the SharePoint system. So for our purposes in our class, I want you to think of using SharePoint like you would Google Docs. We have two main purposes. One is just to be exposed to SharePoint, to be willing to go out there and take a look at what SharePoint can do for you as a business professional and for your organization. It's a way to allow us to collaborate online just like Google Docs would do. And then our other purpose is for you to get comfortable with using SharePoint, uploading documents, editing documents, sharing documents with another user, that'll be me. And then after all of our SharePoint work, you'll begin a unit on working in teams, and I'll expect your team to make use of your team's presence on SharePoint. Okay, so I'm going to flip over from our Blackboard site to the SharePoint system. Now, what you can see in SharePoint will differ from what I can see, and that's because we're different types of users and we have access to different types of information. In both cases, you do have to log into the SharePoint system. It's a secure and protected area, resource of the college, so you have to log in and then be mindful of your username and password. Don't share that with anyone else. It's your own purpose for using SharePoint. Once you're in SharePoint, then one of the first things I want you to do is I want you to click on the little bingo card at the upper left. You've seen this before when you've logged into your email online. That gives us access to all of the Microsoft resources in the online cloud environment. So you can use Word online, Outlook online, as I mentioned. And then I want you to see if you have access from that area to SharePoint as well. If not, the other simple way to always have access to SharePoint is to open up our assignments, go down to the instructions, and click on the link that I've given in every assignment guide for our class. Those are the two easy ways to get to our SharePoint access. Then you'll either be directed to or you'll be given access to the team that you're assigned. So I'm going to use the blue team as an example here. Follow the instructions that are in the Word document for the work that you need to do for SharePoint. But on your own, I want you to be willing to explore and play with SharePoint a little bit. Don't be afraid to upload files that you have access to. See how they interact with SharePoint. Make note of the Microsoft files that you have and how they might play maybe a little bit better with SharePoint than other types of files, such as Adobe files or anything like that. All right, so be willing to experiment, put files up, download files, change files. Just don't affect anything that will change the work for other users. Make your own files to experiment with. I've given you lots of videos for learning about SharePoint. There's tons of SharePoint resources online, and this is your opportunity to really get comfortable with SharePoint, because when you can put this item on your resume, it'll make you stand out as a job candidate that organizations will want to hire. So now's your opportunity to play with SharePoint, become familiar with it, just get used to how it works. And if you think of it like Google Docs, it makes it a little less scary, right? I just want you to become comfortable using and working in the SharePoint system. As always, if you have any questions, you're welcome to email me at any time.